I am the facilitative founder for Samara's Sanctuary Studios, or S Cubed, which is the organization that is actually hosting this Genesis Design Challenge. I am an ecosystemic leader on this earth. I do all that I can, all the ways that I can to come out of my own small yet very significant story and to find ways to place myself into context where I can be a part of things that are greater than myself, in order to allow that self to grow and be nurtured, by supporting others and doing that same thing for themselves and for each other.
But my full name is Rebecca Jane Seth, and I live and work, and we're doing this interview on Wajak Buja, the traditional lands of the Noongar people in southwest Australia. So I am like a sister, a daughter, a biomedical researcher, a statistician, a participant of the Genesis Design Challenge, a contemplator, mainly through the Gene Keys system, and a human being, a friend.
My name is Jermaine. I go with he, him, and I'm based in London, UK, the White Albion, the land of druids. And the hats that I wear: the counselor, the coach, therapist, and just a human being.
Feel at home in saying Devon, which is the name of my avatar and character, and also business and studio. Something about the pioneering spirit of that little cowboy sound and the word just feels present and appropriate here, especially in the nature of the design challenge.
My name's Robert Janacek on the passport, but most people call me Robbie. I'm originally from Czech Republic, but I've grown up in Wales in the UK. I've grown up in Wales, in South Wales, and it's a magical place. Some people call it the land of the fairies and the dragons.
My name is Natalie Rose Woodhouse. I am currently residing in central Alberta, Canada, which is Blackfoot Cree territory on Treaty 7. And my pronouns are she, they.
Name is Joel Woodhouse, and I am currently in Tofino, British Columbia, Canada. There are several indigenous groups around here. The Ahousaht, Tlaoquiat. I'm a human. I'm a son. I'm a man. I am a scout. I'm a dreamer, and I like to have fun.
My name is Nick Collick. So I am many things. I guess IT manager right now is my current full-time position. I'm an endurance athlete and participating within the cohort.
Yeah, but my name is Isaac Rubenstein, Isaac Lloyd Rubenstein. I live in Providence, Rhode Island, the traditional territory of the Narragansett people.
How can you allow people who don't even know each other to come together in a way that actually builds trust and coherence in a short amount of time, and actually allow that to be the font of their creative expression? One of our deepest talks around finances and value, and what is the source by which we create? What is the source by which we come together? Where do we source our value from? How do we name our value? How do we make the invisible value visible as one of our contemplations?
The world is rapidly changing, and I want us to admit that none of us have all the answers. Renewal for work and study. So basically a program that improves mental health, improves our inner capacity, improves our relational capacity, gives people a social network as well, for belonging and connection.
I somehow came with an idea or image of mycelium network, which is invisible, it's underground, and it definitely serves a great purpose, connecting the roots of different plants, exchanging information, exchanging nutrients. So I decided to kind of play with that idea and that format, and prototypes started developing within that eco-psychology context.
What becomes possible when we treat the chaotic crossings of public life as a sacred web, weaving practices that make the unseen value of human presence visible and regenerative for culture at large. So I explored that question quite a bit, and it was helping me actually take that step into connecting the physical with the digital.
When it comes to money and finance, there's a lot of emotions potentially tied up in that, because money is time. So local farmers and communities, because I was like, funding in most industries is potentially a hurdle to overcome. So if you can help these local communities who are trying to be self-sufficient or are quite close to being self-sufficient, and you can teach them another way, another source of income, that can prove to be really beneficial, because then they don't have to be reliant on selling their crops for their full-time income.
Justin had invited me in as a system seer, was the title. And I was quite excited about it because it leans into some of my abilities to not only follow my own process in its natural expression, but also to map that and relate it to what's happening for a group. And knowing the tender space of reaching your own growth edge. So knowing that the builders would be in a space of like, I have this thing, I can't quite express it, I want to bring it out to the world. So in the steward position, supporting others as builders, it was a natural yes.
My entrepreneurial journey has been healing and emotional healing, and that has been expressed through the modality of family constellation therapy to have more freedoms and, I guess, more expression of what I want to do in the world and ways to make money has taken me down this path. The healing work, it's been, you can witness this yourself, your past self with that trauma. And then in that moment, you're also given kind of new words and new ways to help you relate to that problem.
Ideating in the collective setting of how it can be used to help individuals, group to go through and I guess figure out, help people better understand where they're at, where they want to go, and how to get there. So kind of tying those things together is what I'm working on. So like I ultimately ended up creating Wayfinder as something that kind of helps me with my full-time role and things I was going through in my personal life, and then seeing the potential to expand on that in different settings.
I was, processing a lot of, long-held, like challenges, long-held personal challenges. And that really crystallized for me this sort of more, like less scientific, more creative storytelling, that I really love. And so this interview process that we're in right now is the output of sort of a collaboration that I have helped to lead.
These different skills that we talk about here: listening, leading, letting, learning, living, like they're these meta skills that we're pointing to, and I think they really are these kind of core components of people being able to find their way through life in ways that are deeply aligned to who they are, what they are here to do, and to allow that thing to have its own unique expression in the world, but for us to be able to do that together. Like, the more I bring that in, the more compassion and care and love, empathy I can have for everyone in their journey. Because I go, oh shit, like, yeah, they're wayfinding too. And maybe I know something, maybe I don't. Maybe I can offer some patterns or processes or protocols for navigating some things that you may arise for them. But I really have no idea what it is to walk in that life.
If the Genesis Design Challenge was like a workplace where we can live our passion, live our deepest questions, feel more alive than ever, more well than ever, be more productive and creative than ever, and do it in a group of people that we love and have like authentic relationships with. No one's going to build this for us. Like, we have to build it.
idea of invisible value and the stories of open circle bringing youth into wilderness and connecting to and with the nature and the forces, or reminded me of eco-psychology, ecosystems and us humans, a group of humans being a part of larger ecosystem and ourselves forming those ecosystems within the groups. And I think what we came out with, it feels more like gardening, tending to the garden with the seeds that we didn't know what they will grow up into, but I'm pretty sure the garden will be blooming.
There was a very like clear calling and like understanding that we need a cultural shift before the technology can be any good. Even the best things that you've seen, it's like there's still something like lacking and we're still like quite limited. Like it's very clear that our current systems aren't fully like harnessing us and our talents in like a generative way. Like since the design challenge, it's pretty funny how much I've struggled with just being. I think we're just so used to structures, and there's just like a certain kind of way of being and way of operating that is so normal everywhere, like how we work and how we come together to work, that it's really challenging to just like be still and be and try to understand, like attune to who you are, what your purpose is, what your reality is, what your like physical reality is, and like what needs to come alive like now. Or like we often kind of push away the things that bring us alive in order to do the things that we think we're supposed to do. Productivity, performance, where especially in tech, like people are really just like performing this thing that they think they're supposed to be doing, and then you see this like really powerful cascading effect where everyone is doing the thing that they think they're supposed to be doing, and then in fact it's just like it's like people are living in some kind of delusion.
It's just these simple little changes to how you think about things, or like little simple habits that benefit your day-to-day life. For example, like the reconnecting with nature, or trying to do exercise every day. So that's something I'm working on at the moment.
How can I liberate access to unseen value in a way that is desirable, simple, and communicated clearly? It deepened in like, how can I liberate unseen values within me and around me? Yeah, I've had a lot of fun. My bigger dream is that, it's particularly the younger generations that feel that they're sensitive or they're different or neurodivergent have a challenge fitting in to the world that we've left behind here, and that they have the courage and the bravery to say no to the things that they want to say no to, and say yes to the things that they, from their families and cultures and traditions, and bring those pieces forward, the pieces that are worth saving. But then the rest of that gets recycled, like a good old compost.
In following those gene keys and listening to them and reflecting on them, letting go of expectations for us to create something, just being in that and letting go of that, the value of the networking and the connections that have been made. It really became apparent to me that how constellation work is shifting for me. The ability or the safe space I've had to cultivate these like big fantasy dreams of like a better world, it's become a little bit more real in just sharing it, putting it in a document that others can see, having chats about it. And so that has been quite memorable and special.
Basically commit to the overthinking to eliminate like further overthinking. I think of it as like progressive skill development. Like granted, it's not necessarily linear, like people will make progress and sometimes fall back a bit, and that's just kind of the nature of growth.
Our gifts to our communities can be these opportunities to develop as people. Work is like a part of your spiritual path. It's not divorced from it. I think the Genesis Design Challenge represents an alternative to the ways that we have engaged with work and with sharing stories in the past.